Hey everybody, it's Neil here from Post to Post. Thanks for joining me for this one. If you know me, you know that I love hockey, you know that I love rankings and lists and all that stuff, and you might know that I love aviation as well. Well, I definitely love aviation, and I thought I'd take the opportunity to look at some of the most popular aviation companies and brands in the world, look at their logos, and rank them essentially. Now, I have 43 chosen. There are probably over 1,000 airline companies in terms of like parts manufacturers and courier services or airlines that don't even transit people. There's a lot to go through, so I just tried to kind of maybe pick some of the most popular ones around the world in terms of like commercial, so we can go through those and you can see my ranking and leave your opinions down below in the comment section. So this video will not be hockey related. It is aviation related. Let's jump in at number 43, least favorite to favorite. That's the order we're going to go. 43, Porter Airlines. If you're not familiar with Porter, they are a company based in Canada. They are probably maybe the third largest airline in Canada, and I don't really think there's any other than them. After third, by the way, there's Air Canada, there's WestJet, and then there's Porter. There's definitely others, but they're not like kind of at that level. Not that I can think of anyway. But this logo itself it's pretty boring, right? Now, they do have, I think it's a raccoon that they use on some of their imagery, but that's not even part of their actual primary logo. It's just the word Porter, it's just their name. It's in all lowercase font. It's relatively generic. There's not really much interesting about it. Their planes do look pretty good, but logo not so much. Just not really a fan. And as a Canadian, you'd think that maybe I'd put the Canadian companies quite higher. All of them, that's just not the case. I'm just trying to be really objective here. In 42nd position, from my favorite country, Finland, Finnair. I like the stylized font. It's very it's italicized, and when you think of planes, well, planes fly flat. Planes fly fast. The font is almost like a jet whizzed by really close, and it kind of blew the letters a little bit. So I like that. It sets a bit of a scene. The font's extremely unique, but at the same time, it's kind of boring. I mean, it's Finland. It's the country of lakes. There are so many things you could do with Finland and snow and frost and I just feel like there's a lot. It's a bit of a missed opportunity. It's a little bit too simple for me based on a lot of the other ones that we're about to see. Okay, and 41st position, we've got EasyJet. Kind of for the same reason as Porter. It's relatively generic font. There's no symbolism here. It's just orange font, all lowercase. It is what it is. Number 40, Flair Airlines. Now, technically, this is, I believe, a North American airline. I don't know if they're just Canada specific, but they might also be in the United States. But they're essentially a low budget airline. Think of them kind of like an EasyJet or Ryanair or something like that, or a Wizz Air or whatever. So Flair Airlines logo is pretty boring. I mean, there's just a dot there. It says Flair above, airlines below. Again, generic font, just not that interesting. Number 39, Jet Airways. I actually don't know what country this is based in, and I'm not very familiar with this company at all. But at least on the side, it looks like they've got a bit of a sun there or an egg yolk or something. So there's something happening there. I have to appreciate that. I also kind of like the font, like the J, kind of come all the way down. It doesn't make the strong hook. It's just a little bit different, so that's neat. Number 38, U.S. Airways. For some reason, I thought U.S. Airways had a different logo, but at the sites that I looked on, this was basically what was listed. It's okay. I think you could do a lot more with U.S. Airways. I mean, it's the United States for freak's sakes. Like, let's go. But yeah, you got some symbolism in there, but that's okay. Number 37, Cathay Dragon. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce that actually, but you've got what looks to be a bird that's possibly a dragon, but it's at least, there's symbolism up there, which is great. And then I think probably I don't know what language that is. I don't know if that's Cantonese or Mandarin or Vietnamese. I have no idea what language that is. But the colors, maroon is nice. The symbolism above is nice. The font is, I would say, applicable in terms of stylization. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is in 36th position. I put Iberia. If I'm not mistaken, this is based in Spain. I could definitely be wrong there. But I kind of like the right-hand side where you've got that kind of graphic. It looks like the tail of an airplane. It's also has two colors there. It's got a bit of a a cut through it or a stripe, which is nice. Font is very generic though. 35th position, I put Mexicana or Mexicana, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Kind of the same. You've got that kind of tail feature happening, and it almost looks like the head of a bird or something happening in the negative space of the blue. So I really like that a lot, and I love the kind of a relationship between the E and the X in this, and then that kind of other leg of the X coming all the way down and kind of slicing off a piece of that I. That's pretty cool. I like when things get a little dicey between letters, and it just makes it unique. It's not like the Porter or the EasyJet where it's just font and that's it. Someone actually took the time to kind of meld these two and almost 3 letters together, so that's pretty neat. 34, I put Sunwing. This is a company based in North America. I don't want to say based in Canada because I actually don't know if they're in the United States, but Sunwing is essentially a low-budget airline that almost exclusively services sunny locations. So like Cuba, Dominican Republic, Mexico. So a lot of, we call them snowbirds, people who live in cold climates, aka Canadians and Northern Americans, go south during wintertime, snowbirds. So a lot of people go for vacation down in the warmer climate, and Sunwing transits those people, a lot of those people. So they are kind of a fun brand, I guess, in a way, but their name is Sunwing, which is actually a really cool name. I like the name a lot, but the logo is relatively boring. You've got the dot of the eye, which makes the sun, but it's almost like drawn by a kindergartner or something. It's just a little awkward, honestly, and the font is generic. You could do a lot with Sunwing. Like, I could envision an incredible logo with Sunwing, so I think their current logo is just a missed opportunity. In 33rd, I put Ryanair. This is a company based in the UK, I guess. I don't know specifically where their home base is, but they are a low-budget airline, and their left-hand side symbolism is cool. I like their colors a lot, but I don't like the font. Again, it comes down to font. Sometimes you don't just need a symbol, you also need a font, and they kind of dropped the ball here. Air China in 32nd. I like the left hand. I don't know if it's a bird, a peacock, a dragon. I don't know what it is, but I kind of like it. It looks like something that flies, so it is absolutely relatable to the industry. And then the font as well, it just has a little bit of the character. You know, it's italicized a little bit. It's got some personality. 31st, I put Air Asia. I originally had this in the 20s ranked, but the more I looked at it, the more it looked like the Virgin logo. And it's got the same like red dot. It's got the same like kind of artsy font. So I don't know what company came first. Maybe it was Air Asia, but when I look at this, I can't not see the mobile. Sorry, not the mobile. The Virgin logo. I was thinking Virgin Mobile, but they're not just mobile. They're Virgin. They've got cruise lines and everything. So yeah, just the Virgin logo. If you've not seen it, Google it, check it out. But it's very close to this. So I decided to rank it a little bit low just because I don't feel like it's super unique. Number 30, Ethiopian, the new spirit of Africa. I really like the feather aspect of what's happening by the end, because it not only makes up part of a bird which flies, but it also kind of replicates the same shape as the tail of an airplane. So I thought that was pretty cool. And although the font is a little bit generic, like I like the little bottom section of the A, the T is also pretty cool. So yeah, it's not bad. 29. Hanan Airlines. I actually don't know how to pronounce that at all, but I really like the kind of graphic over to the left. Everything on the right, the font, everything in white essentially is pretty boring to me, but on the left, it's almost like this flower slash kind of guy or person or whatever kind of doing this like pose. But also at the same time, if you've ever seen a plane fly through a cloud or condensation of any kind and any kind of low altitude, you get these vortices that happen off of a wing. And if you look at like, if that is a person and you see the dot of the face, just under that where the arms come up, that's almost kind of what happens as a plane flies through like low-lying cloud and stuff. So I kind of like that. It's maybe a bit of a reach, but I do like that. And number 28, Airlinus. I don't know how to pronounce that either. I am assuming this is in Argentina because below it says Argentinas. But yeah, I like the bird thing up top. It looks like it's flying really fast. So it's not just a bird. It's a bird going to work. He's going somewhere and he's not taking his time. He's getting there pretty quick. You also kind of get that feeling with the italicized font as well. Generic font, but good colors, good personality a little bit. Number 27, Aeromexico. I really like what's happening on the left-hand side. I think it's such a simplistic graphic, but you see two things at the same time, maybe three actually. So maybe you see more, maybe you see less, I don't know. So I'll tell you what I see. Actually, I kind of see four things now that I look at it a little bit more. I see a bird, first of all. You get the beak happening there, the eyes above. But sticking with that, I also see an airplane. So you have that cockpit kind of window at the top and then the nose cone of the plane. And then down below, I see a bit of like a nose and a face. And if that was a nose and a face, then the rest is kind of like an indigenous kind of like headpiece or something where there's maybe it is a dead bird or something that has the feathers coming down. So that's three things. And then in the negative space in the stripes, you can almost see like a pyramid. You can see a lot of that down in like Tulum area or Tulum, I don't know how to pronounce it. So almost four things. It's pretty cool, and I like that little red bit too. Number 26, Singapore Airlines. This is an Asian company, an Asian country as well. But I like what's happening on the right-hand side. I like when companies use bird or flying things in their graphics because it's relatable, it's applicable. If someone had I don't know, like a wheel. Yeah, okay, there's wheels on planes, but if I don't know that airline, I'm going to think that they make tires or they make cars, not airplanes. So I like when companies actually play into the flying aspect. Singapore Airlines does that here with that symbol on the right, and it's got that yellow line underneath, kind of just bridging the two together. Next, we got Japan Airlines. I really like that logo a lot. I think the JAL in the logo is misplaced and a missed opportunity. I think it's the wrong font choice for what's happening in an incredible graphic. And I think the graphic is really, really good. I've seen this on planes and it looks amazing. But again, the font is kind of throwing me off here just a little bit. Number 24, Air India. I like what's happening on the left with that kind of fin graphic, and it almost looks like a feather at the same time, and it's pretty neat, and it's got a bit of culture in there too, so that's cool. Number 23, Air New Zealand. It brings me to Lord of the Rings. It brings me to like their brand is a fun brand. If you've not seen any Air New Zealand commercials, they're really good. They're funny. They're creative and innovative. They laugh at themselves. They tell jokes. It's a really cool company actually. So I appreciate the brand, and to me, that symbol, I've seen it so much. It's iconic to me. It's like the LA Kings logo or the Chicago Blackhawks logo or something like that. It's simple, not that the Chicago Blackhawks logo is simple, but you know what I mean. It's just iconic, and it never needs to be anything other than this, is essentially what I'm saying. Number 22, Aer Lingus, I believe it's pronounced, probably based out of Ireland if I'm going to take a wild guess. I'm actually not super familiar with this company, but you can see the clover over to the right, nice colors. It doesn't really have any flying aspects to it, but it is quite different than everything else out there. Most companies don't even use green in any of their logos. So there's a lot of red, there's a lot of blue, but not so much just almost pure green. So it's a nice little change. In 21st position, up with the Vietnam Airlines, the logo above is really cool. It's almost like the feathers of a bird in kind of like in slow motion doing the swoop, or it's a flower or something like that. And it's very symmetrical as well, so I appreciate that. Number 20, Iran Air. I like this kind of like flying Trojan horse thing happening here. Griffin, I don't know what that is, but I know that I like it. It's pretty cool, and I think that is one of those logos that is very simple but intricate at the same time, and that's sometimes hard to do, so I like that. Number 19, Malaysia Airlines. That symbol, it kind of like the Air New Zealand one. To me, that's just iconic. I've seen that logo on so many planes and just around that it is just engraved in my mind. It never needs to change. It never needs to be anything other than that. It's just a nice, simple logo. Number 18, Egypt Air. I think that thing above, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a bird. I don't know if it's like a fan thing. Could be anything. Could be a leaf. I like it. It's very unique, and it's very cool. Good font, good colors as well. Number 17, we got Qatar Airways. Amazing colors. Really, really like that. It's not burgundy. It's not maroon. It's not eggplant. It's not pink. It's I don't know what it is, but I like it. I like it a lot, actually. The symbol along the right, I don't know if that's supposed to be the moon or the sun or whatever, but you've got the goat in there. That's pretty awesome. It's just a very iconic brand as well, kind of like the Air New Zealand, like the Malaysian Airlines or whatever. You've seen this. If you're into aviation at all, you've seen their planes. You've seen them everywhere. They look good. Next, Turkish Airlines, kind of for the same reason, honestly, a very iconic brand. The logo above I've seen on so many planes. It is just one of those symbols that is just timeless, honestly. So, yep, like this one. Number 15, we got Garuda Indonesia. I've actually never heard of this company or this brand or whatever, but I love that graphic above. It reminds me of like a B1. The face of it is just so aggressive. Maybe maybe B2 a little bit, but the colors as well, really good colors. Reminds me of WestJet just a little bit. You'll see that coming up, but yeah, I really like that quite a bit. Next, British Airways, maybe the most iconic logo of any of these companies other than possibly one. It's so simple, but when you see a plane from a distance, if you know British Airways, you can see it, or you can tell from a long ways off. So they have that really, really good brand recognition just by that little symbol there, that little kind of swooshy ribbon thing, whatever it is. Yep, it's good. Number 13, Southwest. They have really some of the best paint jobs. I think a lot of them, if not all of them, are really dark blue. I think I've seen some of them a different color, but I think they've been maybe specialty ones. But the Southwest planes are awesome, and their logo is really cool as well. Great colors. Number 12, WestJet. This is a Canadian company, so it's close to home. The font is okay. I like the J, I like the W, but for me, what is great is the Canadian kind of maple leaf that's happening on the right, recolorized to be the teal and the blue that they use, with a bit of an arrow or something happening in there. It's just unique, and I like the Canadian aspect of it a little bit. So I don't feel like I'm being biased with this one. It is a kind of a nice logo, but I don't know, maybe I am. 11, Air Emirates or Emirates Airlines, I think it is. This is maybe the most impressive airline out there, just based on the sheer size of a lot of their planes. They've got a lot of A380s. They've got a lot of everything, basically. So I appreciate them, and I appreciate this logo. It's not trying to be anything other than a really respectful, simple brand. It's good. Number 10, very iconic, Lufthansa. This is amazing. Like, I don't know the logo history behind Lufthansa, but if it hasn't changed, it doesn't look like it's ever changed. And I mean that kind of as a compliment. It's like the Detroit Red Wings jerseys. They just don't change, and they don't need to. The same thing is applicable here. Number 9, Thai Airlines. This is amazing color work. Like, if you think of Aer Lingus, that was all green. That was pretty unique compared to everything that we've looked at. This is also unique. You've got purple and yellow and a little bit of pink in there. So minus the pink, this is early LA Kings. There's a lot of hockey references in this video, so if you click this video and you love aviation, hopefully you know a little bit about hockey as well. But yeah, this is some amazing color work, and then the symbol on the left-hand side is pretty cool. Number 8, Air Canada. This is probably my most hated airline in the world. It is the airline that is closest to me, essentially, or the biggest to me, I guess, as a Canadian. It's the worst. Air Canada is the worst airline I've ever flown on. I really despise them. I avoid booking them as much as I can. However, if I'm trying to remain truly objective, it's an incredible logo, and it looks amazing on planes. It's just simple. It represents Canada. It represents exactly what an airline logo maybe should be. Something that's simple, something that could be considered like a leaf blowing in the wind. So you kind of get that relation there a little bit. It's not as apparent as some of the other ones, but yeah, it's just cool, and it also makes up the globe as well. So there's some symbolism there. Number 7, Delta. Very simple, nothing happening. It's basically a chevron or an upside down chevron kind of, but it's iconic. Again, like, some of these brands have been around forever. Delta is no exception, and yeah, that logo is pretty cool. Number 6, Korean Air. These planes are amazing. That's kind of like the Pepsi logo in a way, but they have planes all over the world, and I love seeing them when I'm transferring or getting off a plane or whatever. It's always so cool to see those planes because I love the way that they look, and I love the logo. It's It's kind of silly because it's the O is the only thing that's really changed. The font is just font. Some, you know, it's pretty unique, but still, it's just, yeah, it's a little, you could argue that it's boring as well. But again, it's an iconic brand. Number 5, Sri Lankan Airlines. I think that graphic above is pretty incredible. It's very, like, not romantic, but just like soft and flowy. You have this bird, which I think it's a bird, just kind of like almost like gliding through the air a little bit, as if there's no turbulence. It's smooth, it's relaxed, it's all good. That's the kind of vibe that I get from this logo. It's pretty cool. I like it, and really good colors as well. Number 4, Swiss Airlines. It shouldn't be anything other than this. It's amazing. Like, just Swiss, that same font that we're used to. If you're used to anything Swiss related, not flashy, just very simple. You got the red. You got a piece of the flag that's in there as well. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. You got the tail of the plane and that symbolism too. Number 3, American Airlines. I think this is an incredible logo. I love this. It's so simple, but so just perfect, honestly. Like, it doesn't need to be anything other than this. I love the eagle above. I love the simple A's just kind of tip to tip there on the bottom. It's awesome. Number 2, Hawaiian Airlines. This is one of the only airlines with an actual person being represented on there. There were some other companies that I didn't include in this video, but they're definitely out there. But Hawaiian Airlines, the colors, their paint jobs on their airplanes are so good. And this is a really good example of just a great modern logo. It tells you all you need to know about Hawaii. Friendly people, beautiful location. She's got a flower in her hair. Nice, like you can see almost like the gradient of sunset happening. Like, it's a place you want to visit. And number 1, I put Qantas. And so this is a company that's based in Australia. You can kind of see the kangaroo on there. You could almost maybe make out a bird as well. And you can see the tail of the plane. And this goes back to a word that I probably said about 15 times so far in this video. So I apologize. This will be the last time because this is number 1. It's iconic. A very iconic logo, and it is it's exactly what it should be. And I don't think it should ever change. I would be probably disappointed if they did change it. So let me know down below in the comment section, what was your favorite of any of the companies that I've shown? Do you think I missed any companies? I probably did. There's so many. I was just kind of going through them in my head, and I looked some up online. So if you think I missed any, let me know down below in the comment section. And if you want to see me do more aviation stuff, let me know. I love aviation. I know I'm going on a plane tomorrow. I'm pretty excited for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, we'd love to see you hit the subscribe button down below. And if you did enjoy this ranking video, hit the like button. That definitely helps. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.